Beneath the surface of the world's greatest ocean, a hidden universe quietly breathes. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine descending slowly into water so clear it feels like floating through liquid glass. Above you, the sun hangs like a distant lantern, sending long golden ribbons of light rippling downward in every direction. The ocean stretches endlessly around you, vast and ancient, holding secrets that have existed for millions of years. There is no noise here, no rush, no chaos. Only the soft, steady pulse of the sea. This is a world untouched by time, where beauty exists without an audience, and life continues in perfect, uninterrupted rhythm. Welcome beneath the waves. Welcome to one of the last truly wild places remaining on our extraordinary planet. As we descend further from the sunlit surface, the world above begins to fade into a soft, distant glow. The water grows quieter, darker, and more mysterious with every passing moment. Tiny particles drift through the frame like suspended stars, catching what little light remains from above. Bubbles rise steadily upward, tracing delicate silver paths toward the surface we have left behind. The deeper we go, the more the ocean reveals its true character, vast, patient, and ancient, beyond imagination. Light no longer travels in straight lines here. Instead, it bends and shifts, painting the water in slow, hypnotic patterns of blue and shadow. The ambient sounds of the ocean surround us completely, a gentle, rhythmic presence that feels both calming and alive. We are now truly inside the deep. Then, emerging from the blue like a hidden world suddenly revealed, the coral reef comes into view. Stretching across the ocean floor in breathtaking abundance, the reef is alive with color. Rich shades of orange, deep purple, soft pink, and vivid red cover every surface, each coral formation more striking than the last. The corals sway in a slow, hypnotic rhythm, moved gently by the invisible pull of the ocean currents. The camera glides smoothly along the reef edge, tracing the intricate textures and layered structures that have taken centuries to form. Every ridge, every curve, every delicate branch tells a story of time and life. In stunning 4K cinematic detail, this underwater ecosystem reveals itself as one of nature's most extraordinary and irreplaceable masterpieces. Now, life truly begins to reveal itself. Small, brilliantly colored tropical fish dart in and out of the coral formations with quick, playful bursts of energy. Vivid flashes of yellow, blue, orange, and green weave between the branches and crevices of the reef, each fish moving with purpose, seeking shelter and food within this thriving underwater city. Watch how they pause for just a moment before vanishing again into the coral. The camera holds its focus tight on individual fish, letting the shallow depth of field work its quiet magic. The coral behind them softly blurs into a warm, painterly wash of color, framing each tiny creature like a living portrait. It is a beautifully cinematic composition, entirely natural, entirely real, and absolutely breathtaking to witness. And then, as if summoned from the open water, they arrive. A massive school of colorful tropical fish sweeps into the frame, moving as one fluid, living entity. There is no leader, no signal, yet every fish turns in perfect synchrony, as though guided by a single shared instinct. Their scales catch the filtered sunlight pouring down from above, igniting brief, brilliant flashes of silver, blue, and gold that ripple across the surrounding water like scattered light through a prism. It is effortless, almost otherworldly. The camera begins to pull back slowly, and only then does the true scale of this gathering become clear. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of fish sweep gracefully through the open water above the reef, forming a breathtaking living formation that stretches wide across the blue. The camera now follows the school as it weaves gracefully between towering coral structures, each turn revealing a new layer of the reef's hidden architecture. The fish move as one fluid body, threading through narrow passages with effortless precision. Around them, long sea plants bend and sway in the gentle push and pull of the ocean currents, their movements slow and deeply rhythmic. Soft corals pulse almost imperceptibly, as though breathing in quiet unison with the water itself. There is something hypnotic about this moment, something that feels less like observation and more like participation. The reef is not simply a backdrop here. It is alive, responsive, and deeply connected. Every element, from the swaying fronds to the darting fins, moves together in a seamless, organic harmony that feels ancient and endlessly beautiful. And then, as if summoned from the very soul of the ocean, a majestic sea turtle glides into view from the left, moving with slow and effortless grace. There is something deeply ancient about this creature, something that commands immediate reverence. Its shell, richly textured and worn by decades of ocean travel, tells a story far older than words could capture. The camera tracks alongside it at eye level, matching its unhurried pace through the crystal-clear blue water. Each gentle sweep of its flippers propels it forward with remarkable ease, as though the ocean itself is carrying it. Its expression is serene, almost meditative, completely unbothered by the world around it. In this moment, the turtle does not simply inhabit the ocean. It belongs to it entirely. Now, the sea turtle turns toward us, and for a breathtaking moment, it feels as though time itself slows down. Its ancient face fills the frame, eyes calm and knowing, carrying the quiet wisdom of centuries spent in these waters. Every ridge and plate of its shell is rendered in extraordinary detail, textured like carved stone, worn smooth by the sea. The cinematic lighting falls perfectly across its form, tracing the contours of its flippers and the subtle patterns of its skin. Small fish drift alongside and beneath it, completely at ease, moving in and out of frame without a care. There is no fear here, no urgency, only coexistence. This single, intimate moment captures something profound, a reminder that we are simply visitors in a world that has thrived long before us. As the turtle continues its unhurried journey through the water, the camera begins to pull back slowly, breathing space into the frame. What was once an intimate portrait of a single creature now opens into something far grander. The reef stretches out in every direction, vast and endlessly alive. Towering coral formations rise from the ocean floor like ancient cathedrals, their surfaces crawling with color and movement. Clusters of small, jewel-toned fish dart in and out of delicate coral branches, playing a quiet game of hide-and-seek. Their brilliant yellows, electric blues, and fiery oranges pop vividly against the deep surrounding blue of the open water. Every corner of this underwater world pulses with quiet energy, reminding us that beneath the surface, an entire universe thrives in perfect, undisturbed harmony. The camera tilts gently upward, and suddenly the surface of the ocean comes into view far above, like a living, breathing ceiling of liquid glass. Sunlight does not simply fall here. It breaks through in wide, shifting columns, bending and scattering as the water moves, painting everything beneath in soft silver and gold tones. Each ray feels alive, constantly changing shape and direction, as if the ocean itself is breathing light downward. And then there are the bubbles. Rising steadily from below, they catch every beam of sunlight as they climb, glowing briefly like tiny lanterns before vanishing into the surface above. The entire scene carries a dreamlike, almost sacred quality. Time feels suspended here. The world above and the world below seem connected through this quiet, luminous exchange of light and motion. From the soft blue distance, shapes begin to emerge, sleek and swift, moving with a kind of effortless purpose that immediately draws the eye. A pod of dolphins glides into view, their streamlined bodies cutting through the water as if the ocean itself is parting to welcome them. Captured in slow motion, every movement becomes a study in grace. Their powerful tails sweep in long, fluid arcs, propelling them forward with barely any effort at all. Yet there is nothing forceful about their presence. Each motion feels gentle, almost tender, as if they belong completely to this world. The slow motion effect transforms their arrival into something almost poetic, stretching each second into a quiet moment of wonder. Here, beneath the surface, The dolphins do not simply swim. They flow. As the dolphins draw nearer, their elegant forms sharpen against the endless soft blue surrounding them. They move together in a loose, flowing formation, neither rigid nor scattered, but somewhere beautifully in between. Each dolphin dips and rises in natural, unhurried arcs, as though the water itself is guiding their path. The camera glides alongside them, capturing the remarkable smoothness of their silver skin, glistening faintly in the filtered ocean light. Their eyes, dark and expressive, seem to hold something deeply knowing, something almost familiar. There is no urgency here, only quiet presence. Watching them move through this world, it becomes impossible not to feel that the ocean is far more than water and silence. It is a living, breathing space filled with intelligence, grace, and a profound, unhurried beauty that words can barely hold. As the dolphins drift gracefully into the distant blue, the camera gently turns its gaze back toward the coral reef below. Drifting slowly over the top of the reef, the lens reveals an extraordinary world, teeming with quiet, purposeful life. Sea anemones sway in soft, hypnotic rhythms, their delicate tentacles reaching outward with effortless grace. Small crabs pick their way carefully along the coral surface, navigating the intricate textures with surprising precision. Tiny fish hover almost motionlessly in place, suspended in the current, as if frozen in time. Every creature, every movement, every color feels intentional and interconnected. Nothing here exists in isolation. This is a living, breathing community, each species playing its own essential role, all coexisting within a perfectly balanced and breathtakingly beautiful natural ecosystem shaped by millions of years of evolution, a world entire, existing long before us. The camera lingers, unhurried, over the reef in a long and meditative gaze. There is no urgency here, no rush. Only the slow, almost choreographed sway of sea plants bending to the will of invisible currents, moving as if guided by some ancient, wordless music. The light from the surface continues its quiet performance, shifting and scattering across the coral in ribbons of gold and pale blue. Each ripple of light feels deliberate, like brushstrokes on a living canvas. The reef breathes, the water breathes, and for a moment, everything feels perfectly still and perfectly alive at once. As the camera begins its slow, wide pullback, the full grandeur of the underwater world reveals itself in one breathtaking, final frame. Schools of fish drift in shimmering formations, catching the last filtered rays of golden sunlight. In the distance, the gentle silhouette of the sea turtle glides peacefully onward, unhurried and timeless. Swaying corals stretch across the reef in every direction, alive with color and quiet motion. Bubbles rise steadily upward, catching the light as they ascend toward the surface far above. Every element of this extraordinary world comes together in a single, sweeping cinematic moment. The ocean feels boundless, ancient, and deeply alive. There is a profound stillness here, a reminder that beneath the surface, life continues in its own perfect rhythm. Slowly, gently, the frame fades to blue.